Everyone, welcome back to the Irish Hotspur. And in this video, I'm going to be giving my reactions to the different Spurs channel predictions ahead of this Europa League clash with Ferencvaros over in Budapest. We're going to be traveling over to Hungary to clash with them, see if we can pick up even more 3 points, continue this rich vein of winning form under Ange Postecoglou. And we're going to be giving our reaction to all the different channel creators' predictions ahead of this big game. But let's see what they have to say. But first, if you can for me, smash that like button. Do get into the comments below. Do thank all these different Spurs channels for sending in their predictions because the games are coming thick and fast and they have to take the time out of their day, whatever they might be doing, to send these in to us. So we really do appreciate that for making these videos possible. And by the way, someone who's taken it very seriously, our man Marlon from Spurs Kings TV, he's gifted us a table, which we'll be taking a look at after each and every passing game week, or at least each and every game, and see how they end up shaping up. And at the moment, we have Kate at the top of the table. We have Lee the Dorset Spur tied with her as well, joint top, if you will. And then you have Sonny and Dermot, as well as Marlon on 4 points. And it looks like that's going to be at least the crew for now that you'd expect to be picking up the points because they've been very good to us, being very regular about sending in these videos when they can. And so we'll see who ends up taking any spots or taking any further positions in that league table. But thanks to Marlon for sending this in and also making this a bit more competitive and also fact checking everybody, on their predictions so they can maybe look at this a bit more seriously. But let's get straight into it. Let's see what Marlon from Spurs Kings TV has to say. We've given him the first spot.
Dave, Jack, hope you are well, and this is my prediction for Ferencvaros on Thursday. Look, I'm over the moon with the result. I said I hope I was wrong, and I was majorly wrong on Sunday. But Europa League's a different kettle of fish, and we're away. It's it's a different set of players. Possibly we got injuries as well, so he might be going for the same. It'd be interesting to see what happens with his doggy. Is Ben Davis going to play? Obviously, Dragishin's going to be suspended, so does that mean Romero's coming back in? Does this mean more minutes for Porro now? That Jed Spence being out is looking more like a stupid decision week in, week out at the moment, but it is what it is. Look, I don't know much about the opponents. I'm not going to sit there and lie and go, yeah, I know everything. I've done a bit of research to see how they're getting on. They're doing okay, and how they got on in the qualifiers. But yeah, I'm gonna be bold and I'm gonna go for a 1-0 win. I don't know why. Clean sheet seems to be happening at the moment as well, so that's 2 now we've had on the bounce. Um, Possibly make it 3. I was leaning towards a draw, but you know what? After the Man United result, I've got to be positive. But yeah, 1-0 Spurs.
What's going
And big up to Marlon. Thanks for sending in that prediction, my friend. And I was also kind of just checking up just now on Ferencvaros' recent results. They're a team that I don't think are as strong as maybe what they could be or what they should be. They're a team that I know pretty well for the fact that they are, I believe, one of the biggest teams in Hungary, one of the biggest teams in Budapest, unless I'm mistaken. And they have been in the Europa Conference League and the Europa League for at least the past few seasons. At least that's to my memory. And I felt like they just haven't performed that well in the European competitions, despite being supposedly the best team out of Hungary, at least at this moment in time. And so I feel like Spurs should be able to do better than the 1-0 prediction that Marlon has gone for, but I could see why he's gone a bit more conservative with these kind of Europa League clashes. You never know what might end up happening. They could put in a really good performance that could come unexpected. Spurs are probably starting to get a little bit tired before this international break, a bit of traveling as well out to Eastern Europe. So we'll see how they fare, and we'll see if they can do a little bit better than that 1-0 prediction. But thanks to Marlon. Thanks for also establishing that league table, making this a bit more competitive, and for being so regular as well with the regular predictions that he's been sending in on a consistent basis, making these videos possible. Let's keep it moving. Let's head on over to Sonny from Sonny Talk Spurs, see what he has to say.
on, Dave and Jack? It's Sonny from Sonny Talk Spurs, and you want another prediction ahead of Tottenham Hotspur versus Ferencvaros or Ferencvaros. I'll tell you what's not easy pronouncing these Europa League team names. You had Karabag and then you had Ferencvaros. I'm getting better at it though. But prediction, I think this should be easy. Again, I predicted 3-0 last week in the Europa League ahead of the Karabag game, but I didn't think we'd be down to 10 men. But I think hopefully with this game, a bit of rotation, because ahead of Brighton on Sunday, we need to get a win there as well. I think, again, 3-0 should be easy. I mean, they're no mugs, I assume, but You know, they lost to Anderlecht on game week 1, had a red card themselves, funny enough. So I think it should be job done, 3-0. Hopefully Mikey Moore gets some minutes and some others as well. Archie Gray. Bergwell actually plays a full game for once. But yeah, 3-0 to Spurs.
I'd take a 3-0. I think we can't really do much better than that, especially traveling away from home to what should be a difficult atmosphere. While maybe the opponent might not be the most difficult, you'd expect that the atmosphere should be tough to go to. I think it's at the Group Arma Arena. I'm not sure if that's a famous stadium of any kind, but we know that Budapest is a famous city. And with Ferencvaros, yeah, they lost to, I think, Anderlecht in their first match, and then they also didn't do too well against FC Midtjylland, who's that Danish side, which I think ended up making it to the Champions League. I think in those kind of Champions League playoffs to see who ends up dropping down to the Europa League and who ends up staying in the Champions League, Ferencvaros weren't able to make it through. So I think that's an indicator that they might not be the best of quality, that they can't necessarily beat FC Midtjylland team, who I think have some very talented players, but I think that's more of a good metric to see whether this team is really the real deal or not, and perhaps they aren't. But we'll see how we fare, and we'll see if that we can match up to that 3-0 prediction from Sonny. Looks like he's in good mood. And unless I'm mistaken, I think it's pronounced Ferencvaros. Of course, I might not be doing it in the most perfect Magyar or whatever pronunciation that you will in at least the Hungarian language, but I think that is how you pronounce it, Sonny, in case you do end up watching this back. But we'll keep this moving. We'll go on to Kate from Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs. Great channel, great person. See what she has to say.
Big up Dave and Jack. Kate here from Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs, giving my prediction for Tottenham versus that team that starts with Ferren, and I'm not even going to try and say the name. I'm useless with names, so yeah, I'm not going to embarrass myself there. Listen, still absolutely buzzing from the win on Sunday. Epic performances from Kulu again, Madison, Johnson, my man. Yeah, just Van der Ven, I could go on. I really feel we may have turned a corner. I can see what Angie's doing, and this team looks so together. One of the best performances I've seen for a long time. So I'm going into this Europa League game very confident. I think I'm going to go with it's a difficult one. I am going to go with a 3-0 win. I think we'll get a clean sheet. And I think, yeah, we seem to like scoring 3 goals at the minute and a 3-0 win. So why not take it on to the next one? I think we see some changes. I think you'll see the likes of, I really hope Mikey Moore come in, Bergvall. I hope we still use Benny while we've got him, because he's in a rich vein of form as well. But yeah, exciting times. So yeah, I'm going for a 3-0 away win, and yeah, let's keep this positivity going. Come on, you Spurs!
A great gritted prediction there from Kate. I love that grit that she shows in those "Come on, you Spurs" chants at the end of it. And another 3-0 prediction. Looks like people are going for clean sheets, which is an interesting one. Not so sure if I feel like we could pick up another clean sheet. I think we should hope to keep that standard, but with the style of play, with the maybe changes that could end up happening to the team, I wouldn't be that surprised if Spurs end up conceding, maybe even conceding first and then going on to win it. But I am still expecting a win. Not sure where I land on things. I probably am leaning towards kind of like a 2-1 or a 3-1 again in this game, but we'll see how that ends up holding up. But lots of people are going for 3-0s. Lots of people are expecting Spurs to at least hammer this Ferencvaros side. So we'll see if that ends up working out. But big up to Kate, big up to Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs. Great channel. Do check them out. And the channels should be all pinned at the top of the comments. So please show them some love and some support. But let's keep this moving. I believe after this, we have a new one. It might be Harry Scarf. See what he has to say. Let's see what Harry has to say, sending in his prediction. A new one from our man, Harry.
To Dave and Jack, firstly, thank you very much for letting me do this. So we're in action in the Europa League, our second game against someone Budapest. I'm not even going to attempt to try and say it, but Hungarian team, off the back of that really convincing win at Manchester United. Can we make it 5 wins in 5? That would be absolutely ideal. But yeah, we've got to beat our best, and I think we have to go strong lineup wise as well in this game. I think Coventry, too many changes required on the big guns to get through. Same with Fulham in the cup last year. I'd rather go strong, close to that 11 as possible, and then no disrespect to the opposition, but we should put the game to bed. after 67 to even 80 minutes, then you bring on those players, because you need rotation. I mean, it's really important to understand, and I wouldn't have a problem with 2, 3, 4 changes in this game, but we shouldn't be seeing 8, 9 changes we saw against Coventry, we saw against Fulham around 2 of the League Cup last year. So it's getting that balance. I'm all for seeing players like Bergevall, Archie Gray, but we shouldn't be seeing Ben Davies, etc. And over 10 changes on top of that. We've got to be controlled with that. And I think that if we do go strong, I think we're in a good patch of form. I said, Coventry, I think we turned the corner. I think our performances have been good all through the season, but turn the corner in Coventry, start getting those results, as well as those performances. So we're playing well. It's a good moment in the season. Obviously, a lot to come. I can't get carried away yet because it's a bad Man United side. But in this game, I think that there is only going to be one winner. Can't see us keeping a clean sheet though. We kept a clean sheet against Manchester United. Karabag as well. Can't see us completing 3 in a row in all competitions, a clean sheet. So I'm going to go with 4-1 to Spurs away from home. A massive come on you Spurs. Thank you again for this opportunity.
Thank you, Harry, for sending in your prediction, and thank you for that great 4-1 prediction. Lots of detail with it. I'm not too sure if he's going to be happy with the changes that Ange Postecoglou will make. I see what Harry is saying by he wants to have more balance. He doesn't want it to just be a completely new 11. I can understand that, but I do think that Ange is still at this period of the season where he is going to have to give people their chance and give people their opportunities to see if he can learn something new about a player, or also as well, in case he needs to lean on them in more serious situations down the season, they at least have some of those minutes under their belt. So I would expect players like Ben Davies to be rolled out for this one and probably be given the start. And also, I think like what Marlon said, with the non-inclusion of Jet Spence in the Europa League squad, I think that is going to come back to bite us, and we'll have to lean on players like Ben Davies a whole lot more than maybe some fans might want to. But going into this one, a 4-1, I could see that being the case. I've gone for something more like a 3-1. I'd love to score more than 3 goals. I love the fact that we are scoring at least 3 goals in recent games, but we'll see how this ends up shaping out. And I'm also not too confident of Spurs keeping a third clean sheet in a row, but I would love to be wrong on that one. But thank you so much to Harry, and do check out Scarfy Spurs Stock as well over on YouTube. Do check out his great channel and show that kid some support. He's a great commentator, especially for being someone so young as well on the YouTube platform. He really has great things to say and speaks so well for someone of his age. But let's see what our man Lee, the Dorset Spur, has to say ahead of this class with Ferencvaros. We'll see if this guy actually knows how to be able to pronounce the side, and maybe he'll give it an attempt.
Hey everyone, Lee the Dorset Spur back with my prediction. I'm not going to sit here and try to say the name of the team in Budapest. I'm terrible at that. But obviously, on the back of the Man United win, you've got to be buoyed by that. You've got to be thinking that this should be not necessarily an easy win, because I still don't believe that any game's an easy game these days. There'll be lots of changes within the squad to rotate that around. You've got a couple of injuries there. Doggy, is he injured? Would that necessarily mean that we're bringing in Ben Davies at left back? Maybe. Obviously, Jed Spence, so that's a bit of an issue. But Ben Davies has done well, whether he's played centre back or whether he's played at left back. So you got to give him credit where it's due. So yeah, I think it'll be a little bit of an interesting game, but I think we're going to keep the same momentum, and I still have a sneaky suspicion that we're going to hit our next 3-0, making it 3-0 on the bounce. We'll see what happens. Keep the faith. I'll be there. Up the Spurs.
Nice one, Lee. Love to have another 3-0. And I think, as Dave would say, it would be tree nils in a row if only Dave was on it to say it for us. But then another person who can't pronounce Ferencvaros, which is totally fine at the end of the day, because I don't expect people to be able to know that team, off the back of the head, or be able to be that familiar with them. I'm much of a, Spurs hipster, kind of football nerd, if you will, where I do end up kind of watching those Europa Conference League games, Europa League games, and teams like Ferencvaros are often in those type of competitions. So I have come across them before. I don't rate them, though, that highly going into this season. And we'll see if these 3-0 predictions, which we think we've gotten 3 of them at this point, will come true. Lots of people are going into this game confident, as they should. Clean sheets, beating Manchester United so convincingly, playing that well, even despite some of the changes that we'll be making. I think a lot of Spurs fans, rightfully so, should be going into this game relatively confident. So thanks to Lee. Thanks for the great prediction. And do check out his great channel, Lee the Dorset Spur. But now we're going to end it off with the one and only, the Tron. See what he has to say.
Hi, this is Dermot, aka Dermatron. This is my match day prediction for Tottenham's away game in the Europa League, match day 2 on Thursday at 5:45 kickoff. Look, and guys, I'm really confident going into this game. There will be changes, of course, there will. He'll be arresting a few players, a few of the fringe players now will get their chance. Maybe Mikey Moore might get a debut, you never know. But I think we're going into that game full of confidence. You know, we went away to Old Trafford where we've only 5 wins in the whole of the Premier League history, and we absolutely battered Man United at home. And all the players did well. My boy Johnson did well. I know, Dave, you're doing your VAR check. Look, I know I had lost a little faith in the lad, but I never, ever once had my doubts that he would turn in good for Tottenham. And he is ready, 4-4 for him. And look, Cooley's playing his best as well, but I do expect massive changes. But look, my match day prediction and my scoreline is going to be 4-0. We're going to go away. We're going to batter them. Spurs are back in Europe. Come on, you Spurs. In Big Ange we trust.
Great prediction from our man Tron. He's gone for the 4-0 as he does, as he should, because he is the Dermatron. He always goes for the big ones, and he's given us our most convincing, our biggest prediction up the 4-0. We'll see whether it comes true for the Tron there, and if he can climb further up that table that Marlon has created for us. But big up to the Tron. Always loved his enthusiasm, always loved his optimism going into every game, and it's also good to see his man Brennan Johnson playing so well. But we'll leave it there, everybody. Do check out thfc Till I Die, Dermatron's great channel. Let's get him up to the 2K, please. Show him some love and some support, and also show all the rest of these creators some love and some support for sending in their reactions, sending in their channel predictions out of this one. I'll see you for the match day festivities on the next day on Thursday. Europa League, I love it. Great competition. Let's see if we can go deeper into it and gather up some more wins. But I'll see you next time. Come on, you Spurs. In the Big Ange we trust. We never stop.